everybody, and welcome back to the Billtendo Show. I am Billtendo, and I am here with my buddy Mike, as always. First off, in case I don't mention it, you guys check out Billtendo.com. I sell a lot of games, I sell a lot of systems, and if I don't have what you're looking for, I will find it for you. Mike?
I do not do that. I am just here to show Bill. But I am here to run the Billtendo Show with him every week. We talk about whatever we feel like it. It's usually retro stuff from the 80s, 90s, and 2000s. I pray that instead that the show will be canceled and I can get an extra hour and a half of sleep, but that doesn't happen. So here we are. I don't know, Billy. I don't have anything special this week. I'm just here for the book club. So if we're not talking about like Lucky Children from the Holocaust era or Douglas Adams things, I don't have anything else. I'm ready for you.
Before we get into anything, let me tell you, you and I had that conversation the other day, and you were like, "Oh, I love Douglas Adams," and my son, bless his heart, he's 23. I told him what I said, and he said, "I don't think your fan base or your target audience is that into A Perfect Circle." And I'm like, because they use that as the title of a song. And obviously my kids are familiar with everything Maynard James Keenan does. We have every Tool album, Pussifer, A Perfect Circle. We all think he's a phenomenal singer. But that was the only place he knew that specific line from. So I found that humorous and interesting. I guess it's a age gap thing,
Yeah.
So,
I mean, there was a movie that maybe fell within their time period, but it wasn't very good. So.
Okay, so first of all, so he did see the movie. All my children have, and I'm gonna 100% say I thought the movie was decent. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't great, but it was decent. It had some good stuff in it. I mean, Alan Rickman killed it.
I didn't say I didn't like it. It just wasn't. I mean, it just that movie was too short for the amount of literature that's behind it, and then they never tried to continue on with the second piece or make that first movie longer and encapsulate more of the series. It was just a thing.
Right. I think it probably would have been better as a trilogy, at least 2 movies. They did a lot of cramming and snipping, and Hollywood tends to do that. Look what they did with The Dark Tower by Stephen King.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Idris Elba. He's one of the greatest actors alive today, but even he couldn't shine that turd up,
Well, they could have did like the Langoliers and do like 2-hour movies and then jam them into a made-for-TV 4-hour block. I would have been happy with that.
But Langoliers, man, come on. Stephen King's best made-for-TV movie is Rose Red. There's no doubt about it.
I just like the teeth and the airport thing, and I don't know. I have fond memories of Langoliers as a child, and definitely not numerous nightmares that it gave me afterwards.
I'm probably most fond of as far as King television movies. I'm probably most fond of Rose Red because I have a 26-year-old daughter, and we both watched Rose Red repeatedly. It was one of her first horror movies. My daughter loves horror movie. Her favorite movie of all time is actually Ghost Ship with Gabriel Byrne and Juliana Margulies. Her favorite song is Mudvayne, Not Falling, because that was the song from that movie, and we had the DVD, and she would play the video all the time. But we watched Rose Red numerous times. We even bought the Diary of Ellen Rembauer, which was a book that they wrote to try to give a feeling of realness to Rose Red. And the Diary of Ellen Rembauer was actually released months in advance of the movie, and you did not know that the two things were tied together.
And that is your Rose Red trivia for tonight.
Yeah. That, and it was loosely based on the Winchester house. So there's that. Loosely based on a real place that is supposedly haunted. I love haunted stuff. I'm not gonna lie. We'll talk about that too. I live I live a mile from Burnbrae Mansion, which is, if you Google it, it's Burnbrea, Burnbrae Mansion. It is listed as one of the most haunted inns / hotels in the United States, and I live, less than a mile from there. We've actually gone to a murder mystery dinner theater there, my wife and I. It's right down the street. It's pretty cool. I love that stuff. Been to the Amityville house out in Long Island.
I grew up, the house that we grew up in was built in like mid 1800s, and apparently was a Civil War hospital or something too.
Oh.
The basement. So but I was never like harassed by any ghosts or anything, so I don't have any feelings in either direction about what happens to me after I'm gone.
We're not gonna get into it here, and I'm a science guy, I love science, man. Everything can be explained. Just because we don't know it yet doesn't mean we won't explain it one day. I'm gonna tell you, Mike, I have two different ghost stories that either going to change what you think about ghosts, or they're going to just change the way you look at me. But either way, something's going to be different after.
Look forward to these stories when we do the all ghost video game episode down the road.
We should do an all horror game episode eventually.
We will. There's not a question whether we're going to. It's just when.
That sounds like a phenomenal idea. But what do you say we jump into some stuff?
Hey.
So,
okay.
What I wanted to talk about, and I mentioned I had something that was kind of breaking, and it's just happening right now. I've been kind of watching it ongoing all day. I don't know what part of this is rumors, which part is truth. Obviously, there's some kernels of truth here. And there could always be exaggerations, but either way, I'll find it extremely fascinating. As you know, I'm partnered with Pristine Grading Services, and so I keep my eyes firmly in the Pokemon community because it's a business interest of mine to do so. I'm also I try to follow it with my kids. I play a couple Pokemon games, but not a lot. I'm actually a Pokemon Snap guy. I thought that was the best. That's my favorite Pokemon game, and that's a weird thing. But anyway, in the Pokemon community right now, it's on Reddit, it's on TikTok. It has legitimate news stories being published about it. Apparently, someone that works at the factory, now the Pokemon factory, American cards are actually printed at this giant warehouse in the middle of nowhere in South Dakota. So if you have bought Fusion Strike or you have bought Evolving Skies in the last 2 years, people have been complaining that the hits aren't there. You're not getting the hit cards. The cards that range in value from $50 to $200. They're just not showing up like they do in every other Pokemon series. And apparently an employee, from what I've gathered from various sources, an employee of that warehouse went to a local game store to sell thousands of hit cards from Evolving Skies and Fusion, because apparently it was his job to drop them into the stacks for do the random drops, and instead he had been hoarding them and had thousands of them. And that's why nobody's getting hits on them, is because this one guy had them all and then tried to sell them all off at one time. Being an employee at the Pokemon company, like, that, probably a bad business decision, and it may not have gone down exactly like that. And the situation might not be exactly that, but there's pictures popping up of, this guy with giant stacks of hit cards, and he's got them scrawled across his lap while he's sitting in his car or on a white chair or something. So something's definitely going on with it.
Why wouldn't you just go like the next city over?
I don't know, but okay, so this is where it gets hot. Okay, so all of that's terrible, right? And the conversation I had in one of the groups today was, and I think very close to my exact statement was, I don't know if this is all true, what is true, what isn't. There's a lot of moving parts here because this is just breaking. But I don't see the Pokemon Company being involved in any way. You have one or two idiots that work at a warehouse and decided to do this, and then they got busted, right?
I guarantee. There's because how does that benefit? The value of the cards doesn't benefit the Pokemon Company at all. Like
Right.
having rare cards does, but it doesn't matter what specific pack they come from, or like it's just the chase. They could put,
So
whatever in whatever pack. It doesn't
right before we
matter.
came to get together here today, Mike, the last thing I read is a news article about it, and apparently Pokemon knew about it since 2021. They have been knowingly selling Fusion and what was the other one? Evolution or whatever. Knowingly selling them for 2 years with no hit cards in them. So they were not involved in what these guys did, but they didn't disclose the thousands or even millions of packs of cards out there. You could not get the hit cards they were advertising you could.
So so how did they know? By weighing the packs before they hit the production line to go into the boxes, or did they know that the guy stole them, fired
They
them, and then
so
never got the cards back?
so apparently when the story first broke, it broke like this was happening in real time. And that's why I said there's a lot of moving parts here, and it's been evolving throughout the day. So originally the story is being told as this is breaking in real time. This just happened within the last couple of days, blah, blah, blah. When the truth of it is what looks much more likely is that this actually happened 2 years ago and Pokemon made sure it stayed buried. And just now, people are finding out about it.
But nobody would have found out about it if dude wouldn't have sold them, or I would imagine Pokemon probably let him go and said, and he's like, oh, I didn't have them, or something of that nature. But as long as nobody knows the story doesn't exist.
Right. But now people know the story. People are
Because he
learning
has the
about it.
cards still. But now Pokemon can double back and cover their trail. They can be like, oh, we knew that there was something fishy going on, but we didn't know where the cards went, and now we know where the cards went, and now they can, litigate against one specific person instead of making it look like they were shafting an entire, 2 generations of Pokemon cards or
to
whatever.
me, I would say, what is the likeliness that this guy, or one or two guys, I don't really see it being more than 2 guys, or else they wouldn't have got thousands of cards. They would have got 12 cards because idiots run their mouths. What are the chances that this 1 or 2 guy actually did something like this, pulling hit cards, and then that actually happened without Pokemon's knowledge, but eventually Pokemon did find out? Is it in their, like, it makes logical sense to me that they terminate the guy but don't press charges because you don't want to make a story out of it. The local comic shop that turned the guy over is going to get, hey, we're going to hook you up with this and this. Let's just not talk about this, and there's no story whatsoever because of it. It's all handled with a handshake and, and like Pokemon benefits heavily by sweeping it under the rug. They have nothing They have everything to gain, because otherwise, what's the choice? You recall 2 million packages of cards and rip them all open, and then put hit cards back in. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. In my opinion, it would make sense if they did find out at some point and just didn't say anything. I'm not saying that they did anything illegal or anything like that, but just in my personal opinion, I could see it from a corporate perspective. It's best to just not say anything about it at all.
Yeah, because if nobody finds out, then it's just understood that it's harder to get hit cards out of those two sets, and it doesn't affect the sales one way or another. You might have more people buying big, larger boxes of them. Because I buy 3 cases as opposed to just 1 case, or and so on. But it's not going to stop people from buying them if they assume that the pull number on the back of the pack is accurate. So.
Right.
But now they have a problem.
Yeah. Well,
and they could leave the packs on the shelf still and just cut the price. They could cut them down to $1.99 a pack instead of $4 or $5.99 a pack or whatever, and be like, look, man, we know you're not going to get these specific cards because we know where they went. We're sorry, this is our bad. It was stolen from us, but here's the rest.
I'm just gonna say it. Pokemon cards haven't been worth over 99 cents since 1999. So
I don't collect, so sure, that makes sense to me. Perfect.
So, dude, my daughter.
I see him at the Dollar Tree. So.
Yeah, my daughter was born in 96, and my twin sons were born in 99, and they have all collected Pokemon. My sons were especially huge into Yu-Gi-Oh. But they would not buy any cards that were printed after like 2005 their whole lives. They're like, okay, there are no good ones left. Like these are the cards. And they stopped buying cards if they didn't stop making them when they were 6 years old or 5 years old. They were like, this is it. I'm like, that's weird, but I see the point now.
Yeah.
Kind of like Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, but those you're doing something with them. People. So I know people still play Pokemon, and I get all that, but I mean, Magic the Gathering isn't like a hit machine like Pokemon is. It's not about just pulling cards, throwing them in slabs. Like there's a much more active like playing community, whereas the Pokemon card playing community seems like it's really dipped over the last 10, 15 years, where Magic playing, at least in my area, is probably even bigger than when I was in high school and college. So.
I love Magic. When Hurricane Katrina hit, I actually lost 15,000 cards. And I didn't really buy a lot after that. I bought a couple starter decks to teach my kids how to play since then, but that was about it. I didn't really ever get back into Magic after that. But as a former Magic player that has watched how things unfolded, I would say maybe they did 1 or 2 expansions after Tempest and everything was going great, and they kept along that path for a while. And they would space out these expansions, and they were reasonably sized to fit the market. But then the pandemic hit, and they realized a lot more people were playing, so they pumped out an insane amount of expansions and cards. And like I'm gonna say everything that was made for Magic the Gathering in the last 5 years is no good. It's all just overprinting. Let's just make up whatever we can and get it out there because people are buying it right now. But
yeah,
I think they
shaft like that with a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because that's how you make money.
All right, so that went a little long. Usually we talk about the news, but this is the news today.
That was a little newsy, right?
Yeah, no, that was the news, but that's our whole news now. I got a couple quick hitters we can talk about. Right. Mario movie did $508 million over its first week. So now,
Nice.
even in 1 week, the Mario movie is now the highest grossing video game movie of all time in its first week, more than any other movie total, which I think Warcraft was the second.
Nice.
I think. So if you didn't watch Warcraft, apparently you missed out. I've never seen it.
I haven't seen it either.
And the only other thing I had was that Sega is buying Rovio, which the only thing that anybody knows Rovio for is Angry Birds. So why Sega would buy a franchise that's past what I would imagine is its prime, especially since the movies and TV shows are gone now and people don't play browser games or but it was big too. So.
Yeah, but it was, dude, come on. Let's be honest. Let's call it like it is. Angry Birds is the fidget spinners of video games. Nobody's buying fidget spinners now. Why would anybody buy the studio that came up with Angry Birds? Who cares? They had one product that was popular for 5 minutes. Get it together, man.
Yeah, but it may go the other direction too. Sega could be trying to dip their toes into a company that's got a strong mobile infrastructure, and they're trying to move Sega games into the mobile market, and and so they've got developers and programmers that know the space already.
Well, if you in that context, that makes sense, because if they're not buying it for Angry Birds, if they are buying it for a company that has successfully built the infrastructure for mobile gaming, then it is probably cheaper to buy that company than to develop that infrastructure yourself.
Yeah. And this is all conjecture. This is just Billtendo news talk here, because obviously we don't know why they did it. We don't know why Sega does anything that they do anymore. I don't know why they haven't built a system for 1 billion years, or why they have 15 Sega Genesis Minis, one that comes out every other year. I don't know why they do anything they do.
Yeah, that's true. Let's be clear here. Mike and I are not insiders. We are just guys with cursory knowledge of video games, and we like to give our opinions on them, no matter how out of the box they might be.
Yeah, they're usually wrong.
Yeah,
I'm better at the past than I am at the future. So I maybe you need to go buy a bunch of Magic and Pokemon cards too, because what the hell do I know? So
yeah, because we really don't know. We just know what we read. Yeah, we don't have a secret source or anything like that. Just we don't have a insider at Nintendo. We don't even have an outsider at Nintendo. I'm not even friends with somebody that used to work there. Not even on speaking terms.
Yeah, I have friends that worked at Walmart.
Yeah, I Walmart insider right here, boy.
Yep. So I'll keep you updated on the Evolving Skies pack prices as Walmart reacts to this Billtendo report.
Billtendo special report coming in. Hey, Mike.
Oh, Billy.
You want to get into our topic of the night?
Yeah. Okay. Let's do that.
Or day? I say night.
Yeah. Yes. The topic we selected for this week's show is games that we think should or deserve a remake or a sequel, and games that we believe should just die and go away, whether they've gotten remakes or not.
Bloop, bloop. So yeah, I actually made a list of each, both what I think we need and what they should just stop.
Do you like starting negative, or do you like to start on
Oh,
the
it
positive
doesn't matter to me. Which way you want me to swing first?
Start negative. Let's start a sour taste in your mouth. I like that about you.
I do have a lot of complaints, bro. So let me come in swinging for the fence. My first just stop game of the week. Final Fantasy, man. Final Fantasy, just stop. We've got enough Final Fantasy games. Final Fantasy peaked at 7. And 7 is the only Final Fantasy that matters now. So much so that you've made 20 Final Fantasy games since then. And then last year remade Final Fantasy 7 again because it's the top. It's where you peaked at. It is what it is. I thought 8 was a fantastic game. It didn't really get the critical acclaim. Chrono Trigger and stuff like that. It's fine. But let's just stop with Final Fantasy. It's had its day. Let's just it. What was the last Final Fantasy game released before they redid Final Fantasy 7? See, you don't
15?
know off the top of your head. See, are you certain about that?
I remember it's the one with the big car where it's like a boys trip across the country. That's all I remember about it. I remember seeing the magazine articles.
Okay, so you're not certain because it doesn't matter.
I'm not certain because I don't play Final Fantasy. It has nothing to do with the timeline in my brain. I haven't played a Final Fantasy game since maybe it was 8. No, I played a little Blitzball. Was that 9 or 10?
Yeah, I think that was 10 actually. That was when they first came onto the PS2.
Yeah, PlayStation 2 was the last Final Fantasy I played, and it was not much. So.
Yeah. So yeah. You why don't
I'm not disagreeing with you. I don't hate or love Final Fantasy. So if they don't make any more of them, it affects me in no way. So I hope our viewing and listening audience feels more strongly about it because I could go with it too.
Dude, you know what? I'd rather see Square Enix put their time and energy into shaking hands with Nintendo again and give us Super Mario RPG 2. All right? So just stop with the Final Fantasy and
the first game I have on my no list, Billy, is Super Mario RPG.
Are you serious?
I am so sick of people saying that we did another Super Mario RPG game.
Come on, man.
And it's not that I even hated the one for Super Nintendo. Like I played it. I've played through it a couple times.
Well, that's the
I just don't think we need one.
Why? We haven't had a sequel.
Yeah, Paper Mario was a sequel,
wrong.
And there was 5 of them. So.
No. Paper Mario, it peaked with 1,000-Year Door on GameCube. I mean, you can forget about Sticker Star and Color Splash and all of that stuff. But it's not Mario RPG. Mario RPG is it's Square Enix and it's Nintendo, and only one of those parties is involved in Paper Mario.
You can't base an entire series of video games on one game. This is like saying that Final Fantasy is good because you liked Final Fantasy VII, which you just spent the last 5 minutes saying the exact opposite of that. So if you want to say just Mario RPG is the whole Mario RPG series, that's fine. But then it's long dead. Then you got to ignore all of the Mario and Luigi brothers, the partners in time and inside story. You got to ignore all the Paper Mario games, all of that stuff, and say that they made one game and that it's the sequel. Billy, that's why they made it. Paper Mario for N64 was made directly because none of those characters mattered. All people cared about what was your finishing when you finished Super Mario RPG. What was your party at the end?
Oh, I have no idea.
If you say anything other than Mario, Bowser, and Peach, you're wrong. So you don't need Geno. Did you use Mallow? You don't need that. You don't need any of that. You know what you needed? Mario, Bowser, and Peach, which are in the other games.
So, it's 2 different series. I'm just saying, it's 2 different series. Mario RPG and Paper Mario are different games. By your rate of logic, Paper Mario and Kingdom Hearts is the same series. Because
what Kingdom Hearts game has Mario in it?
Kingdom Hearts is a combination of Square Enix and Disney. Mario RPG is Square Enix and Nintendo. Paper Mario is just Paper Mario. So without the Square
But
Enix.
Kingdom Hearts is you're just talking. That's just a similar series. It's not the same
It's the
game.
bastard stepchild.
Whatever. At any rate, I don't need another one. I would. That's one of those games where I would rather just the one that I played be the one that exists. If they want to port it to the NSO or whatever, fine. But it doesn't need like a pixel remaster like the Final Fantasy games. It doesn't need like a 3D remaster, and it doesn't need a sequel because you're not going to get one. Let's not pretend like we're going to get a sequel because you're not going to
No,
get one.
probably not. I mean, this is wish list stuff, though, right?
Yeah, I wish it would die. I wish I could not read. I wish I could not read that every 3 months on the internet.
Ah, we're Denzians of the internet, Mike. All right, so let's jump over to what we need, what we think needs a remake or a remaster. And again,
Sure.
I'm gonna come in swinging with something you cannot argue with. Actually, my need list is, for the most part, some popular games that just don't have the support they need now or a good current version. I'm gonna say at the top of my list for what we need as a new remaster, or preferably a brand new game and not a remaster, a good sequel, would be Silent Hill. We have not had a Silent Hill game in years. Like PS3, Xbox 360 was like the end of it, right? And then Kojima left, or they did stuff after Kojima left. I don't know. I think PT was the last real thing we got. So
Yeah, that demo thing.
yeah, the playable trailer, and that was pretty sure PS3, late PS3, early PS4. But yeah, and then that game got killed. So PT was the last of it, and that was a full generation console back. So I think they need to maybe not even definitely not a remaster, and maybe not even a sequel, but a reboot of the entire franchise. I think it could use that because towards the end it kind of got off the rails a little bit with like Downpour and Homecoming. They were not bad games, but they weren't great games either. I'd like to see more things like 1 through 4, where especially The Room. I enjoyed The Room a lot. It's my favorite Silent Hill game.
I could see them going the same direction that Resident Evil went. Pick the couple most popular ones, do a really nice remake of them that people would appreciate, and just gauge interest based on that. Then, like, because obviously Resident Evil has done well since doing the remakes, and then they're able to make new games because the fan base is back.
Yeah. Well, Resident Evil is a whole lot like Final Fantasy. They have that one really strong game, and actually, you know what I'm talking about, Resident Evil 4. Like, do we need 37 ports of Resident Evil 4? I don't know. Resident Evil 3 to me was the better game. I thought it had more drama to it with Nemesis stalking you the whole time. But
While we're talking about overused ports, has nothing to do with what we're talking. But I just saw a thing yesterday that in one incarnation or another that Street Fighter 2 is on the Switch currently 23 different times.
Get out of here! Why
between game compilations, physical discs, and digital versions available? There's like 23 versions of Street Fighter 2 on the Switch right now.
That's
all available currently.
I wonder how many Mario, just the character Mario, how many games is he in that's available on the Switch?
I wonder if it's less than Street Fighter.
You know what? I think that would be a good bet for us to make, Mike, because it easily could swing either way.
All right. All right. So now my wish list. I'm gonna try to stay away from N64 because I've got like 5 N64 games on my wish list, and 4 of them are Quest 64. But there's there's others. I'll just get Quest 64 out of the way. I don't need a sequel. I don't need a remaster. All I need is for the Switch to embrace that there was 3 Quest series games, Quest Fantasy Challenge, Quest 64, and Brian's Journey. Just put the 3 things on a Switch cartridge and sell it to me. That's all I need. You like Imagineer owns all 3 properties. Just put them on one Switch cartridge and sell them to the people like we want. And this have be done. That's it. We're done.
Look, let me back you up just a little bit because I actually had a discussion with Beans earlier today, and he told me that his wife's favorite N64 game was Quest 64, and that she would really like to see Quest 2. And I'm like, that makes sense because Quest came out at a time that maybe if it would have been a little more popular, it would have got a second another game on the system, and it probably would have improved the couple things that people didn't like about Quest, and so that could have ended up being an absolutely phenomenal banger, and we never got to see that happen.
We do have screenshots of it. It does exist. It just died before because the system died. So, but I've got there's even magazines. There's an EGM article that's got Quest 2 got 2 screenshots and then a big thing that says canceled underneath it, which I, put underneath my pillow and cry about every night.
Right. So how far did they make it?
Not far. It was being developed in like 2000, so it was practically dead before it started.
Oh, they were developing it in 2000?
Well, 99, 2000, yeah.
They were never going to make it. Even
no. But they could have been GameCube. There's a lot of games, like Custom Robo was supposed to come out in the United States too, and then they just held it off for the States till Cube. And same with Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing, that's exactly what I was just thinking. Yeah, a lot of people don't know about that. That it's essentially the same game, just upgraded a little bit.
All right, so I said I wasn't going to do Quest 64, and then we did it. But I'll do another one quick.
You get a free pass on Quest.
Yeah, because it was coming anyway. You knew
you're
going to get it. I want Theme Hospital, Billy. I want a brand new port of Theme Hospital is what I want. I played so much of that game as a kid. I would do it again. It doesn't have to be in 3D. It doesn't have to. Once again, I'd be just fine with just giving me Theme Hospital and the Theme Hospital expansions. Throw them all on a Switch disc. Let me play Theme Hospital on the go instead of sitting in front of my Windows 95 computer trying not to kill people. I would be. In fact, you could do any of them. Like I know people like Sim Roller Coaster, Theme Park, and Roller Coaster Tycoon, and yada 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 yada. But I thought Theme Hospital was the one that resonated with me the most, just because it had the building, plus it had all sorts of fun, disease and infrastructure stuff.
Right. Okay, that's not a bad pick. I think we overlooked series that there was kind of a point in time for a lot of different series where a specific genre of games were popular, and you might be talking about it's a sim. It's a sim. You don't see a lot of sims anymore. Not, at least not the way they were. Just like Guitar Hero's not so popular anymore, but that was a whole genre of games that were extremely popular for a while. And even now, there are Guitar Hero games that are super fun to play, like Metallica. That's a great one. I don't care that I barely ever play Guitar Hero. Like once a year, I'm probably gonna play the Metallica.
Yeah, I still have a full Rock Band. We still put it in every once in a while, but it lasts about a week, and then we're sick of it taking up the living room, and that's the end of it. So
yeah, I get that. About once a year, I'll bust out the SingStar set for PlayStation 2. I start dominating, man. I'll kill it on Natalie Imbruglia's Torn. I don't. It's maybe it's the pitch of my voice, man. I sound like a lady or something. I'm good at women's songs. Natalie and Imbruglia, Torn, Britney Spears, One More Time. I'll kill them, man. I'll kill them. Good at them.
Buy enough stuff from the Billtendo website, and he will sing live on one of these episodes, I'm told. So.
Oh, I'm a terrible singer. On SingStar, it's all about pitch. It ain't about being good. My kids used to cheat me, man. They grab that microphone and they just hold it up to their mouth and do like this. And if you hit the pitches right, you can get a perfect score.
Yeah, I have a video somewhere deep in the Facebook world of my kid quacking entire songs, pitch perfect, and killing it too. So.
Yeah. Also, I will tell you this. My son Reese used to beat everybody's ass at Guitar Hero, and he played it with a PS2 controller. He didn't play with the guitar. He'll sit there, look you right in the eye, and he'll take you to the hole every time.
Oh, hey, boy.
All right.
Kids in there cheating.
Yeah, right? They were cheaters. Let me tell you, I never let my kids win, ever. I mean, I don't know if you do that, but that's not the type of parent I was. You want to win, you going to earn it. And like to this day, they'll tell their friends, our dad never let us win at anything. And I tell them straight up, no, you never let you win at anything. If you were good enough, you would have won. And now I can't play fighting games with Lucas because he mops the floor with everybody.
I had a 9-year Mario Party win streak in my house. I had 2 kids that had never won a game in their life. That changed last year, and now we don't play Mario Party anymore.
Dude, once a year we have a Mario Party tournament in the house, and I have like a WCW championship belt, and it says Mario Party on the name plate, and we put the belt up once a year, and the whole family will play on the brackets, and we will knock it down, and I'm undefeated, man, undefeated. You know why? Because I put them on Mario Party 1 and 2. I don't let them get to 3 getting soft on me. You're going to have blisters. Guess what? You want to win? You're going to earn it in blood.
I didn't get beat till we got Super Mario Party for the Switch, and that's the game that I got beat on now. Now I'm salty about it, but then they don't want to play either because none of the kids want to go back to losing. So we're at a stalemate right now. I don't want to lose a second time. They don't want to start a new streak of losing for the next decades.
Yeah. So,
hey, give me another game, Billy.
All right, we're going off of my list. We don't need that. They should just stop.
You can do either.
Okay. Yeah.
Dealer's choice now.
I'm gonna jump back and like I said, man, some of these gonna be controversial, some are not. But Halo, just stop. Halo's dead.
That's it. That's the whole topic. I agree. We're done.
All right, fair enough. Develop new properties, Microsoft.
All right, well,
you can do it.
We could do another one like that. We'll stick with the Xbox world. Dead Rising. I'm done with Dead Rising.
Yeah.
I never liked it when it came out.
Finished.
It was clunky and ridiculous. I don't need another one. Zombies are overrated too. Those games are gone.
I'd say 99% of zombie games should just stop. I'm with it. I'm with it. So I'm gonna jump back to what do we need to see? What good sequel or remaster? This solid banger. I've been waiting 20 years on this one. Bully. We need another Bully. Come on, Rockstar. Actually, let me bundle this because there's 2 games on my list. They both by Rockstar. I played them both on PS2. I know one of them has a second part, but I need a third part to that. I need a Bully 2 and I need a Manhunt 3. Those games are phenomenal, and I don't know why we can't get a sequel. As a matter of fact, that jumps directly on my list of what we don't need, and that's Grand Theft Auto. I don't need another Grand Theft Auto. Screw Grand Theft Auto. Rockstar, go back to making good games. Quit trying to sell 10 billion games filled with loot boxes and in-game transactions and all that nonsense, and give me Bully 2, give me Manhunt 3, give us games that are actually fun to play.
And put Body Harvest on it too.
Yeah, we can.
Triple back.
We'll take Body Harvest too.
It wasn't on my list, but when we're piling on Rockstar and what they're doing, let's just make sure that they really got to take it to the hole.
I mean, seriously, everybody's played Bully, everybody's played Manhunt. They're phenomenal games.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I considered putting Bully on my list. I think I've played it enough where it would have to be a sequel and not a remaster again.
Right. No, I'm with that. Yeah. Let's get Bully 2. We need a new one.
Yeah.
Man, look. Okay. So the entirety of Bully is in his prep school, right?
Yeah.
Let's do Bully 2, where the dude is at work with this shit. He got to work with a bunch of clowns.
Bully 2, 23-year-old degenerate, doesn't know what he's doing in his future.
Bully in the workplace. I don't know. Maybe that won't fly today. Yeah. But I would
just workplace bully. That's the game.
Workplace bully. It'll become the best-selling game in America. Everybody's like, you can't bully people at work. Well, I'm going to go home and play a game that's literally bullying people at work.
That might resonate, Billy. We'll probably have to get in touch with somebody about that. You might have to make your own game.
I'm going home to play this game to get some ideas. I will see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Janet.
We'll talk to HR in the morning. All right. Another game I want. We're doing wants now. I want The Simpsons Hit and Run.
Nice.
And not because, like, first of all, there hasn't been a Simpsons game since PS3. I think since the movie was out, right?
Right.
I think it's just Simpsons the game or whatever was the last time I remember seeing one. So missing the Simpsons is one thing because they're not quite the pop culture entity that they were when we were in our more formidable years. But it was also just a really fun game, like a huge open world sandbox, crazy taxi adventure with the Simpsons characters was fun. Who didn't like Simpsons Hit and Run?
I loved Hit and Run. I always felt like it was the equivalent of Grand Theft Auto Springfield. Yeah. Oh man, come on! It's the best possible version of that game. I love Simpsons Hit and Run. Definite sequel needed.
Yeah, and it wouldn't have to be hard. You don't have to come up with a new world. You don't have to come up with a new story. Just throw everybody right back into the same thing again and add new missions. It's like not skipping a beat. It's a money print. Just go and get it. Get the money.
Seriously, we don't need to play a Simpsons game. We don't really need a story. They tried that a little bit with Bart versus the Space Mutants, and that didn't work out so good. Like little snippets of story, like in Hit and Run. So
yeah,
I'm with you. I'm with you. Simpsons Hit and Run. So where we at? Good, bad?
Yeah, yes. That's where we're at.
All right, let's go good. Again, this is a game everybody's played, without a doubt. We need a sequel to Double Dash. Mario Kart Double Dash from the GameCube is by far the best Mario Kart, and we have yet to have a second Double Dash game. No other. I don't. Okay, so Mario Kart is not even the best kart racer on Nintendo 64. Diddy Kong Racing is definitely superior. Mickey Speedway is pretty up there. Maybe not quite as good as Mario Kart, but close. But then you get to the Wii, and like Mario Kart on Wii to me is garbage. I hate it. I don't really care for 8. I don't like any of the handheld Mario Karts. I was not a big GameCube player until maybe 8 years ago or something like that. And by far, Double Dash is the best Mario Kart game, in my opinion. And I would love to see a second one.
I like Double Dash. I'll always like Mario Kart 64 more just because that's who I am. But it's not like I don't disagree with you. I really like the DS one as well. But that was more because that was the first one that we could play online. And I was really big into that because I lived out in the country. So I could more. I think that this one is probably the best chance of anyone we've mentioned so far. But I bet you it would be more like they would add 2-player carts to the framework of whatever they're working on now. What are we on?
Oh
10, 9, whatever
no,
it is.
we're still on 8 Deluxe.
Okay, so we're on
So,
like 8.9 or whatever it is. We're
right,
almost all the way
because
to the
it was
next one.
actually
Yeah.
8 on the Wii U, and then they
Yep.
ported it to the Switch, called it the 8 Deluxe, and they did that with a couple games. Just ported like the first 2 years of Switch. Most of the games came from Wii U and were just ported over. But they ported Mario Kart over as Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and they've done a lot of DLC for that game, a lot of updates for it. So you're probably right. I see Double Dash ending up, instead of getting a sequel, it ends up as DLC for 8 Deluxe or even 9. But it turns out that Mario Kart is consistently every single month the best selling Nintendo Switch game. I just read that somewhere not too long ago. So if 8 Deluxe is still consistently the best selling Switch game every single month, we're not getting a 9 anytime soon until those numbers start to dip. So
no, because you buy a Switch, and if you don't already have games, you need Mario Kart. It is the best selling. The only time it's been knocked off recently that I can remember is during the pandemic when Animal Crossing came out. I think it dropped for a month or two, but it didn't. Animal Crossing never caught its overall sales numbers, even though it's like top 5.
right.
It's never going to catch it. Nobody. I mean,
No.
ever.
Yeah, I think what Mario Kart's got like, man, I don't want to lie when I say it, but I thought I read that it was 50 million lifetime sales.
That could be. I'll look it up quick while you
Yeah,
keep running your mouth.
yeah, yeah. Look it up. But no, definitely, I see. We'll probably, if we get any kind of Double Dash, it's going to end up as DLC for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Personally, I'm not that huge of a fan of 8 Deluxe. I prefer 8 on Wii U. I don't like Mario Kart Wii at all. I just couldn't get into it. But I do enjoy Super Mario Kart on Super Nintendo. I always thought that was fun. Thought that was
52 million, by the way, Billy. 52 million 8 Deluxe. So close. But Animal Crossing is number 2 at almost 42 million now. So apparently those are the games you have to. And then Smash is 3 and Breath of the Wild is 4, but they're not even close. Smash is just hit 30 million and Breath of the Wild's not quite there. So
Breath of the Wild's got to be the best selling Zelda game ever, right?
I would imagine it's up.
I'm not
there.
saying it's the best one, but it's got to be the best selling Zelda game. I would imagine. Smash Bros. You know, who cares? I don't care about Smash. I could have put that on my list of just stop. I don't give. Who cares about Smash? Like,
Well, you might get that
boys.
because what are they gonna? If you name one Ultimate and you put in a just like with Kart, you name one Ultimate, you put in 1 billion DLCs. Where do you go from there? You can't sell another one on the same system. You're done now. You got to move on to the next system, and you got to do something completely different. So.
Yep. From what I understand, Smash U for the Wii U was underrated, but I think my sons are Smash players, and they thought that even though it uses the same basic engine for Wii U and Switch, it was kind of a port over, but that they liked the Wii U version of it better. They thought it was great. I don't know. I think most of the stuff on Wii U was underrated. It didn't get a chance to really show what it could do.
I agree. I don't have any Wii U games on my list, but it's not that I don't like Wii U games. There's things I want more, Billy. I've got needs.
I don't have any Wii U games on my list, good or bad. So.
All right. So the next game I don't need, Billy.
All right.
Is another 64 game. I need everybody to stop asking for Donkey Kong 64. Or even broader, I need everybody to stop asking for another 3D Donkey Kong game. Because I don't care. I don't. When is the last time that we had a traditional 3D platform collectathon come out that sold well and people cared about?
Okay, so are you
That
saying we
wasn't
don't?
Mario.
Wait. Are you saying we don't need Donkey Kong or we don't need collectathons, platform collectathons?
We don't need a 3D rehash of Donkey Kong 64. It doesn't need a remaster, and we don't need another 3D Donkey Kong game. I think Tropical Freeze was way better than Donkey Kong 64, and I'd play games like Tropical Freeze over and over again in that 2.5D area than I would running around
Oh,
with 6 different Kongs collecting colored bananas and balloons and stuff. I don't need that.
I'm gonna agree with you that we don't really need a sequel to that. If they made a sequel for the Switch expansion pass, I would try it. I'm not certain. I have mixed feelings about DK because I love most games made by Rare. I love collectathons. I love platformers. But Donkey Kong was excessive with all the different Kongs and all the backtracking, and it just felt to me like it was too much, you know? Yeah.
I just don't think that style of game has as much of an audience as 15 years ago. Like even the new Mario games. So when you play Odyssey, there's much less coin collecting and stuff. It's more doing than it is like catch.
Hold on. Mario
The whole
Odyssey,
mechanic, no, the
it's a
whole point of
platform
Odyssey was the
collectathon.
hat,
You only need like
but you're not backtracking through the level a million times to find a different color moon or something like that. You still progress through the level. You can collect multiple things without, losing a life in quotation marks. You just go through the level, get your moons, get out, move on to the next thing. It's not finding a million of something or 15,000 of another thing. It's just playing the game and enjoying it without the like needless backtrack.
So I think what Mario did to the collectathon, it added something. Well, maybe it didn't add. It really polished up something from Banjo-Kazooie, and I find that very likable. As a matter of fact, on my need list, obviously I have Banjo-Kazooie. We never got Banjo 3, even though we were promised, and they're liars, and I want it. But what they did in Banjo-Kazooie, so let's say in Donkey Kong 64, it's all about getting all of these different bananas and stuff for all of these different apes, right? Where Banjo was different from that, and where Mario Odyssey is different from that, is you had specific little challenges to get your Jiggy or your Moon. So you did these little challenges. Some of them are super simple, super fast. Some of them take you a little longer and a little more skill, and you actually have to work at it a little bit. But instead of going after individual bananas, you have a little task to do, whether it's easy or hard, and that's where you get your prize from. In Banjo, it was the Jiggy. In Mario Odyssey, it's the moons. And either way, I think that's a great situation as far as the evolution of platformers. I don't think it's about 10 million bananas anymore. It's still a collectathon, but it's more of a objective-based collectathon now.
I like that. We can keep going if you want to roll your Banjo love into this one.
Man,
I'm okay never talking about Donkey Kong again.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so we need another Banjo-Kazooie. That's pretty much it. We have we need another Banjo-Kazooie. We had Banjo-Tooie, which was pretty good. There is the one that will not be named. We're not going to talk about at all. And then there was the spiritual successor, as they like to say, ukulele, which got a lot of complaints. But at the end of the day, I personally really enjoyed ukulele. I own ukulele for Xbox One, PS4, and Switch. I really, really like it. It's the original team that did the N64 games by Rare for Nintendo. They did Donkey Kong. They did Banjo. They did Conkers. They did Jet Force Gemini, GoldenEye. So, and ukulele, you even have first-person shooter levels. So it was just a little bit, it was kind of a throwback, and you could tell it was made by the same people. And even though it was a spiritual successor, it was not a true successor. And I would love to have another Banjo.
Don't at me, Billy, but I really like Nuts and Bolts too. So I like Banjo, and I like Tui, and I like ukulele, but I also like Nuts and Bolts. So like it scratched a different itch for me. I'm not saying we need another one, but I like that I like the chaotic energy that Nuts and Bolts had. I liked making weird stuff and then blowing it up and then screwing with the physics and getting the parts of the level I wasn't supposed to be in because it wasn't supposed to work that way. All the stuff that people don't like about the game also makes the game fun.
Yeah, well, you like making weird stuff. You look like a dude that's made out of weird stuff.
You look like a dude that stopped playing games at Banjo-Kazooie.
So look, I'm gonna jump because I have one more on my need a new one, and one more that I really want to get at on the Just Stop, and I think everybody can agree with me with the Just Stop. Skyrim, stop. Nobody wants another remaster, re-edition, collector's version, director's cut, or whatever. There are literally about 50 different versions of Skyrim now, spread across how many systems? It is ridiculous. Just make another Elder Scrolls game. It's not even the best Elder Scrolls game. It's just the most popular. So stop with the Skyrim. Just stop.
10-second piggyback on that. If we're gonna get another game like that, let's do Jade Empire in that engine and get another Jade Empire game.
You talking about from OG Xbox?
Yes, sir.
Oh, banger.
So if we're gonna do morality system with that same combat and all that stuff, just take the Skyrim engine, make a new Jade Empire. Everybody would be happy.
I'd try that out.
Yeah.
So
all right, get to your other one.
Give you my other one. You talked about Quest 64, and that's your jam. And my jam is and will always be Dark Cloud by Level 5. Also, the creators of Nonini Kuni and Professor Layton Games. Dark Cloud 2 on PlayStation 2. Dark Cloud 2 is actually credited as having the first really good craft system in an action RPG or RPG type game. Everything you get into Skyrim style or anything like that, basically they built upon the crafting system that was laid out in Dark Cloud 2. So we need a new version of Dark Cloud. I want to see Dark Cloud 3. I've been waiting. Right. I've been waiting.
So you don't want like 1 and 2 remastered. You need a 3.
I need a 3. I'll take Dark Cloud 1 and 2 remastered for the Switch. Holy mackerel! I wouldn't sleep for a month, man. I would look like a crackhead with the Switch. I got my new sword.
See, that we're easily appeased. Like, there's a lot of games I would just take to be able to play handheld and be able to see them, as opposed to walking up to my TV and playing them instead. Like, I play way more games now on the Switch, and it's not because the system's better. It's because I don't have to bogart the TV and the system to do it.
That's exactly it, man. I played the majority of my games on Switch. It's almost always because I only have 5 minutes here and there, 10 minutes here and there to play a game, and the Switch is super convenient, man. You just grab it, whether I'm sitting here at my desk or I'm sitting on the couch, I just grab it and start playing.
I hear you. We are the same person, but I just have better taste in games.
What? If we, you're not the same person. Mike, I'm attractive. I don't know if you noticed. My mom tells me every day I'm a good-looking young man.
My mom would never say that about me because she doesn't want my head to get big. So I got a big enough head already.
No, my mom tells me I'm a handsome young man, but she will never compliment my personality.
No, my mom literally tells me that I have a physically large head because she tries to buy me hats all the time. And
My mom tells me I'm the most irritating person she's ever met. It's your mom, man. You have to try to irritate them. It's fun.
we might have the same mom. Long distance brothers. Another game. I'll just like you. I'm just gonna rip through a little bit of mine here. I don't need another Rayman game ever. Anything, any Rayman. Not Raven Rabbits. I don't need that, and I don't need platformers. Any of
I'm
it.
with you.
Dunk it. And then we touched on a couple of my ones that I had on my want list. Diddy Kong Racing. I would like a new Diddy Kong. It's more like that's like a dream wish. Like that's never gonna happen. I don't think we're ever getting a new Diddy Kong game. Just based on like the Stamper brothers not being with Rare and like all the team being all different now. It's just they're never gonna dunk back into that like N64 era pool stuff. It's just not gonna happen. So everybody would like it, but it would have to be new characters, and they try to it'd be like Ukulele. They'd have to do a spiritual, new art multi-card game. So we're not getting that. And the same thing, I would really love a new Blast Corps game, and we're not getting that either. Just because I don't feel like that kind of game still resonates with people. Like the same thing with like the old Rail Star Fox games. Like I think people think that they would like that, but that simple like drop and go, like put 10 minutes in and leave game, I don't think it sells as well as it used to. That genre has been overtaken by like massively multiplayer games where you can go online and drop, do a single quest or something like that. That's where people dump their, and then the other 15 minutes is playing Candy Crush or whatever. So I don't think that like games like Blast Corps are ever gonna like come back.
No, probably not. But you know what? It would be great if we had a multi-game collection on a Switch of just a port of all these N64 games that are never going to come back in a new form, but might just be popular enough. You could do Blast Corps, where you obviously can't do Jet Force Gemini, but maybe you could do Blast Corps, you could do Glover, a couple other ones that are good, fun games, but are never going to make a full comeback. Do like a multi-game collection.
Well, they could just put Rare Replay on the Switch and stop de-doddling around with it, hiding on the Xbox where nobody's playing it. So.
No, you're absolutely right. Do you know how many people I have to tell you could play Banjo-Kazooie on your Xbox One? Or your Xbox
and Jet Force Gemini and Blast Corps.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like pretty much everything.
And Conquer.
Yeah. And Conquers, if you want to watch a cartoon and play very little of them, mid-platformer, you can do that too.
But you can buy, 25 copies of Rare Replay before you buy one copy of Conquer, since we like saving money for people. I'm gonna do one more Rare game while we're begging Rare to come out of retirement and do something good other than Connect Sports. I want Viva Pinata. I know I'm doing a lot of sim games here, but I'll take another Viva Pinata game.
Also a Rare game.
Yep. That's like, if we can Animal Crossing and people play it, and you do things like that. What's the bug game for PS4? God, I can't think of the name of that now. Where you just, I don't know. There's like a bug picture collection game that was pretty big during like the pandemic that people got into. But anyway, what I'm saying is, if we can do these like real time lifestyle simulation games, why can't we get one with crazy pinatas that come and eat my grass,
right?
And chase each other away? Why can't we have that?
I don't know. I don't know why not. That sounds like a great idea to me. Um, I'm with it, man. I think the Rare games after they were bought by Microsoft, before they forced them to, before they chained them to the damn Kinect, Grabbed by the Ghoulies and Viva Pinata. I think they were making decent games. They weren't getting the recognition they deserved. They're pretty good games. They might have a couple little flaws, but they're good. I mean,
And it's not they've never done, like, Sea of Thieves is fairly popular, and like it's not like they still make bad games. It's just they're not making the games that people remember Rare for, the personality games.
right. So, do you think because this, I don't want to start a whole topic here because we're running low on time, but do you think if Grabbed by the Ghoulies, which was definitely closer to what Rare was doing on Nintendo 64 than anything they did after that, do you think if Grabbed by the Ghoulies would have been a commercial success, that they would have been allowed to create more of the type of games that Rare was known for at the time?
I think that Xbox still would have pushed them in the direction that they did, with because that's what their prerogative was to kill the Wii and do the motion controls thing and get that foothold before PlayStation was in it with the Move and stuff. So I
How'd that work?
don't think. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I played Kinect Sports. I think maybe. I think I
Power
remember
Rangers.
bowling.
There's only there's only two good games on Connect, if you ask me. All right, and one of them is going to be Dance Central, and I will stomp you into the mud
Yeah,
with Lady Gaga
yeah.
poker face.
We
You
played a
got
lot
no
of that.
chance. Number two, Power Rangers is the by far best Connect game. I'm
Well, I'm not gonna plug my Kinect in to find out.
I'm in here. People at home can't see me, but I'm like a Power Ranger over here, like a 46-year-old kind of chubby Power Ranger.
So you're like all the other Power Rangers from our youth now.
Yes, I look like now what the Power Rangers look like now. My head looks like Zordon all the time, except it's imagine Zordon's head with a black fitted Yankees hat on and Legend of Zelda hoodie, and that's me. That's what I look like.
and a mom that tells him that he's exceptionally good looking.
Yeah. She never tells me I'm nice to be around.
She's not alone, Billy.
Yep. Tell me about it. So,
All right. Well, that's all we had planned for tonight.
oh, Mike, let me.
Oh,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I want to throw something at you. You remember we reported last week on the news that it was a minor thing for us. Alice Madness Returns, the sequel to that, was canceled by EA.
yes. Yeah.
Shot up overnight, bro. The game went from selling for $30 to selling for $100 a copy on Etsy and Amazon overnight. From
Well,
the
that's because
time
we
it was
talked about
canceled. It wasn't because we talked about it.
it. We'll see. If I can draw a straight line between the moment that we talked about that game and then the price going up, this is just like me getting drug all over again for raising the price of Quest 64 by senselessly beating the community over the head with Quest 64 pictures for a year straight. I will deny it, but that doesn't mean that it happened.
Look, hey, if you're responsible for that, I'm going to say I'm responsible for raising the price of Puyo Puyo Son.
Okay, fine. I'm still not convinced that anybody other than me buys any Quest stuff anyway, so it's...
Oh, you wrong, man. You wrong. Quest is a fast seller. I've never gotten a Quest game that has not been back out of my house in the mail the next day. Every time I buy games, if there's a Quest in there, somebody wants it within the first like 2 to 3 hours.
Well, I mean, you don't know how many like pseudo names I have,
Yeah,
but
yeah, it might.
like
You might be all of my customers, Mike.
Just don't look at the addresses. Just
All right.
send the games like they're supposed to, Bill.
Yeah, that's fair.
You got anything else before we shut this show down?
Oh no, I'm good. I'm good.
The only other thing I had is to remember to constantly Google Billtendo and find all of his various ventures, be it his wonderful website where he sells exclusively Funko Pops and
No.
fidget spinners and copies of Wii Sports, or find him on the various Facebooks and Instagrams and all the things that the kids are doing today, where Billy preys on the kids and their money.
The Tic Tacs. That's where it's at.
Yeah.
And definitely check out Mike and his 1,000 aliases. He's around.
Yeah.
He might not want you to know it, but he's around. He's watching, and that should creep you out. So,
yeah. Good luck finding me.
Yeah. Everybody, remember, every Saturday here on Out of the Box Radio, the Billtendo Show with Billtendo and Mike, and we will see you guys next week. So long, and thanks for all the fish.